So we're back working on the rear bumper. It is the next day. I waited overnight. This is the results of what the repair looks like. As if you listen, you can hear it's nice and solid. You can definitely see where the crack was, right where this kind of air pocket is. And that's just where all those zip ties were, right underneath. So that's how it should look though. So we're gonna flip this over, go on the back to the other side, and then we can remove that tape from the front that we placed on there. Now this is the part where we're going to be taking our grinder with our little flap disc wheel on here. And we're just going to be coming in each of these spots where the zip ties are and where this crack is, and just following along this channel right here. You're just looking to rough this up and basically get this so that you'll be able to fill this in and even this whole section out. I'm going to try to avoid these corners a little bit. I'm still gonna have to go over it because this will need to get evened out, but I'm just gonna follow along this path and just make a trail with this grinder on both of these sections here. This is what it's gonna look like after going at it with the grinder. As you can see, it's gonna basically just shred off the zip ties for the most part, and you just want to work. I have a small channel that I was working. I went just outside of these zip ties, try to make it as small as you can so that way it's not too big of a repair. Same thing over here on this side. I try to stay as far away from this edge as I could, even though it butts up to it pretty close, and obviously I had to come over this edge a little bit here. Right now I'm just going to try to clean up these areas a little bit more by using some 80 grit sandpaper and just go over this just to take off some of these loose pieces before I apply my fiberglass Bondo filler in here. Make sure to wipe your area off, get it nice and clean with some acetone. And then right now, so I'm using the Bondo fiberglass. I have a bunch laid out here on this piece of cardboard. I'm gonna go ahead and mix my hardener in with this, and then we can start applying this on just like so. Mix it up, and then we're gonna start wiping it on there. The fiberglass Bondo is now applied on here. You can see how it looks. I tried to keep it to as tight of an area as I could while also kind of getting in just like the whole general. You want to go a little bit wider than where it's actually needs to be placed at. So we have it placed all the way down to here. While this is drying, it shouldn't take too long since it's pretty hot out today. I'm going to come over here to my other side where there's this scrape over here, and I'm going to just go ahead and start prepping this area. I'm probably going to use like a 120 grit sandpaper, just block sand all of this over here. Looks like this scratch goes actually quite a ways back, almost all the way to right here, and there's also another one up here. I have the side of this sanded up. I sanded it with a 150 grit. That's just what I had. So instead of using the other Bondo that you mix up, the two-part, we're just going to use this easy glazing and spot putty. This area is not too significant. The main spot is going to be this spot right here, a bunch of scratches, and then right here, but there's nothing too significant to fill. So that's why I feel like this is just going to be the easiest to use for this location. So we're just going to use this, spread it on pretty much this whole area here, and then also get these couple scratches that I have that came all the way back here. I just worked on sanding all this down. This was from the first application of that Bondo fiberglass. I'm gonna go back over it now with our regular Bondo, not the fiberglass one. It's going to be this one, and this will hopefully fill up the minor imperfections, the little pinholes, and also build up any areas that we need. But this will smooth out a lot nicer and also be easier to sand down. While this second layer of that Bondo is curing, I'm just gonna try to go over this entire bumper. Use again one of these Scotch-Brite pads, which I did look this up. This is actually rated for like a 320 grit. So I believe that's what this is. We're just gonna go ahead, cover the entire bumper, minus this black piece right here, because we're not painting this, that'll stay. But try to work out some of these imperfections and these other scratches that are on the bumper and just smooth out our other repairs.